With several states imposing restrictive and indefinite lockdowns across the nation, many worry our constitutional rights might be in danger. Here's One America's Mary Holman.
There's a reason why protests have erupted across the U.S., calling for states' stay-at-home orders to be eased or lifted. Historically, Americans have fought hard for their liberty, an unalienable right government is founded on.
When the people fear the government, there's tyranny. When the government fears the people, there's liberty.
In the face of the coronavirus pandemic, states have a great amount of power from the Constitution to help protect the health and lives of citizens. And according to court precedent, they can enact restrictions furthering those efforts, so long as measures are temporary, measured, and narrowly adapted to actually address the threat at hand. As lockdowns continue with restrictions appearing severe and arbitrary, many are wondering if these orders are at odds with civil liberties. Under stay-at-home orders, there have been several reports of religious services being broken up by police, even when residents were following social distancing guidelines. Nearly 3 weeks ago, members of a Baptist church in Mississippi were given $500 fines for sitting in their cars in their church's parking lot while listening to their pastor's service on the radio. Late March in Maryland, police shut down a small church service for not keeping gatherings to a minimum, despite the pastor saying there were only a few people present.
He said, "Did you read the governor's order?" I said, "I know the governor's order. It said 10 people or less. I have 10 people in here. So tell me, why are you here?" Why the governor is so insistent upon closing the church down on Sundays, restricting worship, restricting the size of the gathering.
Meanwhile, multiple people exercising their right to protest against their government has resulted in arrests and heavy fines. 4 anti-lockdown protesters in North Carolina were arrested in April for violating their governor's stay-at-home order. Gun stores have been ordered to close under lockdowns as they're not considered essential. One firearm shop owner defying the order says it's a violation of the right to bear arms.
We have to be very careful not to get into a ridiculous situation where we are sterilizing the Second Amendment by saying, oh yes, you can keep and bear arms, but you just can't acquire any.
Meanwhile, people argue state governments are violating the takings clause of the Fifth Amendment, which requires the government pay just compensation when it takes private property for public use. In Pennsylvania, a group of petitioners say the government has essentially taken their business for the public by ordering it to close amid the coronavirus pandemic. They're now seeking compensation. The group argues they have been deprived of their property without due process of law, while other businesses get to stay open because they're arbitrarily deemed essential. Once states do lift lockdown orders, a new constitutional threat could be on the horizon. Individuals' privacy could be infringed upon, with states looking to turn to Apple and Google's contract tracing software to help track the spread of COVID-19 in the area.
You could take my cell phone data and find all the other phones that were within a 6-foot distance of me in the last several days when I may have been infectious.
As lockdown orders continue in various states, it's important to question the balance of the health and well-being of our community versus the liberties we are guaranteed as Americans.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.